We're here in the capital of the great state of Mississippi today to make an appeal to Governor Phil Bryant in the appointment of Chris McDaniel to fill the seat of Thad Cochran. And the question is, folks, not why Chris McDaniel, but why not Chris McDaniel? Why not support the people who, in fact, Governor Bryant used and did receive their vote to become governor of this state? He ran as the taxed enough already governor, the Tea Party governor, the grassroots governor. So why not fill the seat of outgoing Thad Cochran with Chris McDaniel? Seeing how it is that the people of Mississippi have already spoken as far as their support for Chris McDaniel, it makes sense. And in these times, my friends, it is necessary that men and women of courage like these that have joined me here today stand up and be heard, stand up and be counted. There is a great endowment that we as Americans have, an endowment that was given to us by our founding fathers, that is emblazoned and written into the founding documents of our nation. It is an endowment that's given to us by our Creator. It is that to pursue our lives, our liberty, and our happiness. One of the things that does, in fact, make our endowment worthwhile is the fact that we bring people to the state houses and to our national houses that represent the core values of Americans and American people. Now is the time for us to stand upon those great American principles that have made us the greatest nation in the face of this earth and the greatest success story the world has ever known, America. And we're encouraging Phil Bryant, the governor of this great state, to make that statement and make the voice of Mississippi be one that is heard across this nation when it comes to standing for the people of this great republic. And so, with that, we have others who are here with me today, and we, of course, are here to encourage the governor and ask his hand in moving in favor of appointing Chris McDaniel to the office that Thad Cochran now holds, because the people of Mississippi have already spoken. The first speaker to you today is a Mississippian. Laura Van Overshell will come first. She's from right here in Jackson. And then Robert Peters from Vicksburg will speak to you. And then finally, before I close it out, will be Mike Bostic, chairman of Tate County Republican Party. Thank you all for your time. Thank the press for being here today. And don't forget to become a part of the largest grassroots organization in the nation, and that is FreedomWorks. Go to freedomworks.org. Thank you.
Thank you, CL. You've done a great job of introducing what we're about here today. I want to do a little short history lesson, but this history lesson is cogent to what we're about here today. In September 1787, I first need to give you that little review. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to do what? Do something that states what has become obvious to many, that those people must act to speak up for themselves. They call on what they believe and is in keeping with the relevant cultural norms which were created by the general public. They voiced their beliefs that they have the right to be a governed people by consent. The Declaration says we are to be governed by our consent. That document was completed and signed July 4th, 1776. U.S. Constitution was completed in September 1787, and it was ratified unanimously by the 13 states, with the express provision that in the first session of the first Congress by the 13 states, that a Bill of Rights be written. And that's how we got the first 10 amendments. The First Amendment names 5 rights: the freedom of religion, speech, press, peaceable assembly, and the right to correct our government when it makes mistakes. So here today we are practicing 4 of those 5 rights. About 105 years ago, we got 2 more amendments. There were some intervening. But we got the 16th and the 17th in 1913, which pay for government. The 16th pays for government by taxing the fruits of our labors and by changing the method by which representation in the U.S. Senate are determined. That change in the election of senators gave the responsibility of election to the popular vote. Unintended or not, the voice of the state legislature in what was then called the national government was essentially removed from the state's governments, then recognized as independent nation states. Fast forward to June 3rd, 2014, in the Mississippi primary for senator. The majority of Republican votes were cast for State Senator Chris McDaniel. But since he didn't receive 50% plus 1 vote, a runoff was necessary and it was set for June 24th, 2014. Party bosses enlisted and paid for Democrat voters to cross over into our election. The result was to award Thad Cochran the contest. He went on to win the seat in November 2014. Court cases were filed to contest that award, and we, the voters, were denied sufficient hearing of our redress, all the way to the state Supreme Court of Mississippi. And we, the conservative voters of Mississippi, were highly criticized for practicing the rights named above. Senator Cochran is now ailing, and we hear by our free press that he will step down. He will step down on April 1st of this year. At long last, it is time for the majority of Republican voters to be heard by our government, supported and maintained by the taxpayers of Mississippi. As the state law says, the governor can appoint the interim senator to fill that vacancy until a special election can be held, which will be, as I understand, held at the time of the general election in November of this year. This story is recounted by the book, Remember Mississippi, copies of which are sitting over there on that table, written by Brian Walters. You see, lying on the table here too is the court case accompanying it. We are now requesting Governor Bryant to appoint State Senator Chris McDaniel to that open seat. I have a letter here, not very long, that I received yesterday from a voter in Oxford, Mississippi, which I would like to read. It is short and to the point. It clearly sums up nicely the general sense of many from whom I have heard regarding this resignation by Senator Cochran. Hashtag Remember Mississippi. She opens it, Laura, especially for emails, except for emails and faxes to elected officials and money support. I am not very active as a Tea Party member due to advancing age and personal responsibilities. I am a strong supporter of the general Tea Party principles and appreciate your email updates. Needless to say, I was outraged by the appalling tactics of the GOP establishment in Mississippi and D.C. during the 2014 primary, especially in the run-up to the runoff election. Although I may occasional modest donations to the NRSC before then. I have not since then and never will again. Wicker seemed reasonably good on the issues when he was in the House, but the longer he's been in the Senate, the more he has become a Cochran light. I cannot be at the Mississippi Tea Party news conference on Wednesday, but I am interested in what your announcement will be. I am surprised by the comment in your email that one Republican candidate after another has shown disinterest in being appointed to fill Cochran's seat, assuming the old goat actually makes good on his announcement that he was retiring soon. That being the case, however, perhaps my email shown below, which I sent to Governor Bryan a few days ago after Cochran's announcement, is not entirely out of the question. She writes, "Dear Governor Bryan, here is a bold choice to replace Senator Cochran after he resigns, Chris McDaniel. I realize many of your colleagues in the Republican establishment here in Mississippi and Washington, D.C. probably would be aghast if you chose McDaniel. There are several compelling reasons for you to do so. It would avoid a bruising and perhaps divisive primary campaign between McDaniel and Senator Wicker. It would at least partially placate the thousands of McDaniel supporters who frankly were disgusted by the strong-arm deceptive tactics of the Republican establishment in 2014 primary, especially in the runoff election. Cochran could not have run for re-election in 2014. He should not have run for re-election in 2014. 6 times is enough and leads to political sclerosis. If ever there was an argument for term limits, Cochran is it. 3. It would demonstrate your independent decision-making and encourage many rank-and-file Mississippi Republicans to wholeheartedly support the Mississippi GOP party once again. Having Wicker and McDaniel as Mississippi 2 senators would nicely represent the ideological breadth of Mississippi Republicans, balance the older, more savvy Wicker with the younger, more grassroots savvy. I have no doubt McDaniel can win the special election for Cochran's seat in November because of the 2014 primary campaign. He has reasonable name recognition and demonstrated ability to get votes through the state and a large contingent of enthusiastic supporters. So, Governor Bryan, I encourage you to make the smart, if perhaps unconventional choice of Chris McDaniel to replace Senator Cochran. Signed, Ruth Stein, Oxford, Mississippi.
Good afternoon. I'm Robert Peters from Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Please speak up.
Mississippi is arguably the most conservative state in our union. Yet we do not have a strong conservative voice advocating, leading, fighting conservative values in the United States Senate. Governor Bryan has an opportunity to change that by appointing Senator Chris McDaniel to fill the soon-to-be vacant seat for Senator Thad Cochran. Why do I feel so strongly about this appointment? I'll answer that with another question. When is the last time that any of us here have seen a senator from Mississippi on the floor of the United States Senate passionately championing values that conservatives hold dear that are so important to the preservation of the life of America we enjoy today? Issues like fiscal responsibility, simply being careful with respect to how we spend our money, controlling our borders, shutting down illegal immigration, reforming legal immigration, defending our Constitution against the abuses that we saw too often in the administration of Barack Hussein Obama, defending the right to life for the unborn, Ted Cruz doing it. I see Mike Lee doing it. I see Tom Cotton from Arkansas doing it. I just don't see the senators from Mississippi doing it. I'm so past the point of listening sympathetically to people say, but oh, what about the money that they bring to Mississippi, dollars that they bring to Mississippi, dollars that add to our massive debt, dollars that have to be borrowed, debt that has to be addressed by our children and our grandchildren. Governor Bryant, please give a real conservative an opportunity to help make a difference in the United States Senate in Washington. Please appoint State Senator Chris McDaniel.
My name is Michael Bostic. I am president of the Tate County Republican Club, and I want you to know that the comments I make here are my own. They are only my own and do not represent the Tate County Republican Club. I am a Barry Goldwater Republican. I am a Ronald Reagan Republican. Today, I'm not quite sure what I am other than a constitutional conservative. I'm going to go back with a little bit of recent history. Laura touched on it. I retired in 2008, and in 2010, I had an opportunity to go to the Southern Republican Leadership Conference. And that was sort of like a bucket list thing for me. I said, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go. So I did, and it was wonderful. I got a lot out of it. Paul Ryan had recently authored a document called A Pledge to America. Most people have never even heard of it, but it was a document or it was a roadmap to how to balance the budget, cut taxes, and just in general do the fiscal things that we needed to do in 2010. And in particular, it was designed to start cutting or put a hole in the national debt, not the amount of debt that we had every year, but that accumulated debt, which is now $3 trillion. But sorry to say, in less than 2 years, that document is gathering dust on the shelf because the Republican Party had lost its way. I was very disappointed. But then in 2014, I got a glimmer of hope because Chris McDaniel decided to run for the U.S. Senate. But how dare he? You're supposed to wait your turn. You're supposed to go ask the higher-ups and kiss the ring and be blessed to run. And that, sometimes in the Republican Party, that carries all the way through to presidential candidates. The Tea Party had started in 2009, and I was a part of that. We saw ourselves in the Tea Party as a partner with the Republican Party. Michael Steele was the RNC chair at the time. All of you know the name Rick Santorum. And they looked at the Tea Party as a plus of the Republican Party. But somehow or another, the establishment did not like that, so their response was to get rid of Michael Steele and decide that they weren't really interested in what we had to say. By 2014, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell let it be known that he didn't want any more conservatives in the Senate. because of that, we have seen that play out in the 2014 elections and special elections since then. Conservative candidates who dared to challenge a moderate incumbent, they all were targeted by the establishment. And ditto for today. In 2014, I wanted to replace a big spending, budget busting, big government Republican with a proven fiscal conservative who would work hard to get the national economy back on course. In 2017, the Freedom Caucus of the House of Representatives took a lot of heat that made the Obamacare repeal bill palatable. Tax cuts, they were the conservative voice in the House of Representatives. Thank you, Freedom Caucus. A handful of constitutional conservatives in the Senate faced an uphill battle, and I am quite sure that if Chris McDaniel had been there, he would have been a strong voice for what they were saying. Today, we have started the election process for one Senate seat and the other for a special election. The government needs to select someone to fill the position until that special election. Why not appoint Chris McDaniel? I am paraphrasing this, but William F. Buckley used to say, find the most conservative candidate and elect him. I cannot think of anyone that you could appoint who is more conservative than Chris McDaniel. Rush Limbaugh has been telling his listeners for years, we should try real conservatism because whenever it is tried, it works. With all the problems in Washington, I can't think of anyone better to represent the conservative state of Mississippi than Chris McDaniel. We need a deficit hawk. We need a budget balancer. We need a fighter. We need someone who will help President Trump drain the swamp.
Amen. So, my friends, you have heard from the voices right here in Mississippi. What does it boil down to? This is what it boils down to. The consent of the governed. Chris McDaniel has already passed the test of the consent of those who would be governed. And so when we look at the things that are at stake, it is the voices of the American people, beginning right here in Mississippi. And it's also another thing, integrity. Integrity of the Republican Party. The integrity of the word conservative. What do those words mean anymore? Does anyone know? Is anyone caring? Surely the politicians seemingly sometimes have a deaf ear to the meaning of fiscal conservatives, even though they run as fiscal conservatives, even though they run as Republicans. The words are hollow, and the actions are even more hollow when we see how they vote on issues that are important to grassroots people. So we call again, with the close of this press conference, on Governor Phil Bryant to fill the seat of outgoing Thad Cochran with Chris McDaniel, who the people feel is the voice that will represent true fiscal conservatism and will represent the true core values of the Republican Party. So God bless you, God keep you here in the great state of Mississippi. Thank you for your time.
Will y'all take questions or not?
Yeah, we'll take questions.
If y'all feel like that Roger Wicker also doesn't represent your views, why don't you want Chris McDaniel to run against Tim DeVito, and then maybe have someone else who represents your views get this other seat?
We have no problem with that. That is Chris McDaniel's decision to make.
Do you think that among the general public that they still care about 2014?
By my email box, I would say yes, they do.
Do you think that is a representative sample of the public?
Yes, I do. Because those people were moved to actually act in 2014. And if Chris McDaniel is on the ballot in November, whichever seat you want to index, they will come out again for him.
If McDaniel's name is not on the ballot and he's not given the appointment, will you support whatever Republican candidate?
That is a decision to be made in November.
Would there be something symbolic as well about McDaniel in Cochran's seat, given what happened in 2014?
Well, it would be symbolic, but it would do more than that. It would bring great healing to the Republican Party. And if the Republican Party wants healing, they should move toward those ends.
Does the Tea Party support the president?
Oh, yes. We've seen many conservative things that the president has done. And we don't have problems with his conservative issues.
Have you been in touch with Senator McDaniel? Was he aware of today's gathering and was he invited?
We sent him an email. Whether or not he's opened it, I don't know. Thank you all for coming.